People don't just give away that large of chunk of equity if they don't have to. And it really speaks to the character of this man.
Say more about that. Actually, if you don't mind, say more about that.
Yeah, sure.
Again, going back to that journey, the first 3 years, let's talk about it from a few different points of view. One is, who are they such that they are willing to do a very unconventional thing, which is to bring in a third partner at a later date, right? So describe who they are first. I want to make sure that people are hearing this such that if they resonate with what you're sharing, they can then now point to the attributes, the characteristics of these people.
Well, I mean, I think that he's one of the more virtuous humans I know. Just very principled. He is clear about what his values are, and he lives by them. He, and it's interesting too, because we all have our own unique makeup. Like, I don't know if you know the gene keys. The gene keys is probably my favorite map of consciousness.
Really?
What's really interesting about it is, it for me, it blows every other system out of the water.
Okay.
Theory, human design, all of it, for me, pale in comparison to the value and insight that I get from the gene keys.
Interesting.
Of looking at what are the unique archetypes imprinted on my system. So if you look at like David's gene key profile, for instance, it's all there. It all makes perfect sense. Like virtue and empathy are two of his prime gifts. And so I think that, forgetting all the gene keys stuff, he is somebody who also discovered the transformational path. He's somebody who started to engage in the work of self-actualization, got tastes of what it is to live a life where you're operating not out of self-preservation and survival, but out of contribution and service. And so I think that is one of the foundational elements that really work for our partnership, is that we speak a lot of the same language. We have some of the same maps of what does it mean to take that journey to become your best self.
I want to underline those things that you just said. So for the people who are listening, what Shane just said is speaking the same language, have the same map of consciousness. So I just wanted to underline that. So then what kind of actions did you identify to say, hey, David actually embodies what he's preaching. He's a principled person, versus just talking some empty words? Was there any specific thing that you saw that really moved you in a particular way?
I mean, there's a lot of them. Some of it is, just, for instance, like how we're navigating COVID right now, and the determination to keep everybody in the company and not to do layoffs, and his fierce stand around that. There's, to the saying, hey, Shane, you're making invaluable contributions to this company, and you have from day one, you have had the mindset as a founder and ownership of this company, and I'm going to recognize that and actually officially making you a co-founder. Because who we are is what we do. It's our actions that matter. Our words, our value statements, our core values, those can all be good words. Would we actually do it? Do we actually, when it's tough, do we actually make the hard call to stick with our principles? To everything from just the vulnerability and honesty of, we've baked a lot of opportunities for vulnerability into our culture, and his willingness to show up in front of people and be real and reveal the things he struggles with,